Sexual Health Day. And we have organized with this program with the stalwarts in the field of sexology who are practicing and guiding throughout India to all our clinicians. I thank AMOGS office bearers, Kiran Koti sir, President AMOGS, Bipin Pandit sir, Secretary AMOGS. I welcome our chief guest, Nandita Palsetkar ma'am, who is past president of FOXY, and our today's guest of honors, Dr. Kiran Koti sir, who is the president of AMOGS, Dr. Amay Purande sir, senior vice president of AMOGS. I welcome my co-convener, my dear friend, Dr. Apurva Datta, who is the chairperson, FOXY Sexual Health Committee. And today's prime faculties, Dr. Raj Brahmbhatt sir, Dr. T.S.S. Rao sir, and Dr. Neeraj Jadhav sir. I welcome you all for this particular session today. Actually, it is not a day, it's a movement continued throughout the years with new themes and new challenges. Actually, September is the Sexual Health Awareness Month. 60 countries have acknowledged this day worldwide. And theme for this year, which is declared by WHO, is sexual justice. What can we do? This theme emphasizes the need to recognize and address sexual injustices, encouraging action and collaboration to create a world where sexual rights, pleasure, and justice are accessible to everyone without discrimination, stigma, and coercion. And that is why our organizations like AMOGS and FOXY is trying so much to create and spread the awareness about the sexual health in society and our fraternity also. Next slide, Shubhankar.
Sir, I will start it.
Yeah. Yes, myself, Dr. Modan and Dr. Apurva, welcome all the faculties. Next slide. Next slide. It's my privilege to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Nandita Palsetkar, ma'am. Everyone knows ma'am. She's the past president of FOXY, AMOGS, and ISAR, also FOXY representative to FIGO. And she's the person who brought me in AMOGS and FOXY. I'm very much thankful to ma'am. And I'm very blessed to have you as a chief guest for the particular session. Over to you, ma'am, for your blessings.
Madan, thank you very much for inviting me. I think it's a real pleasure to be here, and especially for you. You're so hardworking and you're so sincere. So I think it's amazing that you're doing such a great job. And Kiran has picked the right choice. He's got a fabulous team, and the leader driving the team is also fantastic. So, Kiran, first of all, congratulations. I think AMOGS is doing very good work, and as Dr. Brahmabat said, that the awareness which our organizations have taken to spread to everybody is really, really important. And I'm so glad that you are the flag bearer of the association and you're working very hard for it. Apurva and Amay, I think both of them are the young Turks in FOXY, though Amay now, I don't think, I don't know whether I should call him young, but for me, he'll always remain a young boy who was way ahead of his times, way ahead of his times. I think it's really amazing, Amay, that you've grown so much, and now as a assistant treasurer of FOXY. And Apurva, I think keep up the good work. And you are one of the young people whom we are very happy to see on the scene and doing great work. Today on the World Sexual Day, I just want to say that, first of all, it's really a privilege to join you on this World Sexual Health Day. A day that reminds us that sexual well-being is a fundamental, part of human dignity and justice. And conversations around sexual justice, which you've taken up. It's very, very important. And not just about health, but also about equality, safety, consent, and the right to live a life which is free of stigma and discrimination. I think I commend all of y'all, especially AMOGS, for creating this platform to break taboos, spread awareness, and encourage open dialogue. Together, we can actually build a society where every individual, regardless of the gender, orientation, or background, has the right to safe, respectful, and fulfilling relationships. I think it's very, very important that such conversations happen. And I'm really happy. And Dr. Rao is also here, one of our very esteemed speakers. I think it's wonderful to be part, and Corona is supporting you, because it's a conversation that needs to be had. So thank you very much for inviting me here. God bless you. And Madan, all the best in your endeavors, and looking forward to seeing you play a more active role in Foxy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind blessings and kind words. Thank you so much for joining today. Over
Thank
to
you
you,
so
Dr.
much,
Apurva.
Nirita ma'am.
Yeah, over to you, Apurva,
Yeah.
for to welcome the
Yeah.
guest of
Uh,
honors.
yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, your blessings, your guidance are always with all of us, and you are an inspiration to all of us, especially the youngsters like me. So thank you so much for always being there, for always blessing, sir. So next is again our guest of honor is Kiran sir. Doesn't need any introduction. He is like my big brother. Sir is the very dynamic president of AMOGS, past chairperson of the FTP committee,
Rene to
and what
Apurva, thank you. Thank you, Apurva.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Well,
much, sir. And over to
yes,
you,
sir.
sir, for your kind words.
Yes,
Let
sir.
Yes.
Apurva
Well,
speak, yeah, Kiran.
first of all, uh, today's chief guest, respected Dr. Nandita Palshetkar, and of course, Dr. Rao, Dr. Brahmabhat, and Dr. Ameya, Apurva, Madan, and everyone, Neeraj, everyone. You know, it's a fantastic thing. When I first heard the term that is sexual justice, first of all, I did not decipher what exactly it is. What do exactly do you mean by sexual justice? So when you delve into when I spoke to Madan, he exactly told me the meaning of sexual justice. So Madan, thank you so much. We have brought out a totally new uh, perspective towards this particular committee. You know, this topic has not
Thank you.
been heard of or been taken at any forum. So thank you first of all for taking that. And of course, thank you, Dr. Rao and Dr. Brahmabhat, for again accepting this particular invite from AMOG side. I'm sure that all of us are here to listen to you. And of course, I take this opportunity to welcome all of you on the 13th and 14th of December in Kolhapur, where we have this sexual committee workshop conference along with the Kolhapur OBGY Society, where we will be able to listen to Dr. Raj Brahmabhat as well as Dr. TSS Rao, and of course many other stalwarts in Foxy as well as in CCP. So thank you so much. And last but not the least, Madan, Ameya, everyone. If at all you have blessings of Dr. Nandita, I mean, sky's the limit. That is what I know. So thank you, Dr. Nandita, again for blessing the entire AMOGS fraternity. Not only AMOGS fraternity, you have reached out to people outside AMOGS also, like you have
Absolutely.
to Apurva, to Neeraj and everyone. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for being the guiding force. And as I always say, if there is a post like President Emeritus, I think it is Dr. Nandita Palshetkar who deserves that post. And we will create that post in case I go into that particular position at any point of time. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Nandita. Hi, Ameya. And I also take this opportunity to welcome all of you to on 13th, 14th, and 15th of March 2026, where we will see Dr. Ameya being installed as the president of AMOX after me. So, with that ado, thank you so much, and please carry on with the workshop. Thank you. Thank you, Badal.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Can I just
Thank you.
interrupt
Thank you so
here?
much.
You know, I want to just congratulate Neeraj. Neeraj, I missed you out in the
Yes.
screen. Heartiest congratulations on your vice presidency in Foxy, I think. And you've been the driving force behind this committee in Foxy. And, everybody who's following you is taking it to great heights. So I think congratulations on that. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Kiran sir, for your kind words and for your blessings. Now, our next guest of honor is Amaya sir, again a big brother of my. Sir is currently the joint treasurer of Foxy, and sir was the past joint secretary of Foxy and AMOGS president elect for 26 to 28. So, thank you so much, and definitely, I am very much sure sir will take the AMOGS to new height and new level, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, sir, for your blessings.
Yeah, thank you, Apurva, for those kind words. Uh, I like Kiran had said, I second his opinion totally. I think the modern version of AMOGS, what we have seen, what the founders had not even dreamt about, Dr. Nandita has allowed it to grow to that level. So I think it is a visionary leader that AMOGS was blessed to have in the form of Dr. Nandita Parshekar. And I think all of us, Kiran, me, and the future leaders are really indebted for her to give us all the encouragement, support, and allow us to grow to other heights. Thank you very much, madam. Moving on to today's topic, I think Madan is one of the real activists, I can say, of AMOGS for in the field of sexual health. I wish Madan all the best for his endeavors. I think he should now move on to a national level because I think AMOGS has groomed him enough to represent AMOGS at a national level. The topic chosen today on this very important day is of sexuality. I strongly believe that sexuality is an essentiality of human existence. Men and women will not exist if we don't have sexuality in our society. And that is why, keeping the same concept or thought or philosophy, WHO said that sexual health is a key marker for any societal health. And therefore, that is the importance of sexuality. I think sexuality has also evolved. We saw it from being a social taboo where nobody talked about it or whispered about it behind back doors to now it being a very open and a very sensitive but scientific discussion. And I think Madan has done that through his tenure as chairperson of AMOGS, and I hope he continues the same to have extremely scientific but extremely sensitive key issues by leaders and authorities on sexuality like Dr. Rao and Dr. Raj Brahmabhat. Last but not the least, sexuality has also moved on from just being a science or just being an emotion or a practice. Today, we are seeing it in terms of words like sexual justice, sexual rights, and I think it will very soon play the part of gender equity and societal equity. And I think we need to keep this in mind. The gynecologists are one of the key or the pivots in community and public health. And I think we should make every effort to listen to our patients, be sensitive to them, counsel them properly, teach them the scientific practices, and always support them in their sexual problems. Because once those problems will get solved, lot of things like fertility, psychiatric issues, etc., will also be solved if the sexuality problems are solved. Last but not the least, I'd like to congratulate Neeraj. I think he is one of the champions of sexuality and sexual medicine committee. Through his leadership as the committee chairperson, this committee has grown to great heights. And Neeraj, all the best for your tenure as vice president. And I'm sure that you will take this concept of sexuality not only to the national level, but even beyond. Thank you all once again for inviting me. And congratulations, Madan and Apurva, on organizing this very important program on this very special day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind blessings and kind
Thank you.
words.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words, sir. Yes.
I invite all the dignitaries for the lamp lighting. Shubhankar, lamp lighting, Shubhankar. Yes.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा
you. Shubhankar, display that slide. The conclave, sexology conclave. Yes. Kiran sir has just introduced about this conference. AMOGS Sexual Medicine Committee, along with Kolhapur Obstetric and Gynec Society, have planned World Sexology Conclave 2025 on 13th and 14th of December. I appeal all the members of AMOGS and FOXY to get registered for this conference and attend in large numbers. I invite you all there at Kolhapur. Thank you all. Yes. Yes. Thank you once again, all the chief guests, Nandita ma'am, Kiran sir, and Amey sir, for gracing this occasion. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Now
you.
we will move
Thank
on.
you so much.
Yes. Yes. Moving on to the actual scientific session. We have specifically planned this symposium to discuss the problems of this regarding to the sexual health and sexual justice. And for this symposium, we have got the very eminent faculties as experts. Dr. Raj Brahmbhatt, sir. Shubhankar, please display the CV slide. Yes, everyone knows respected Dr. Raj Brahmbhatt. He is the father of sexology in India. He is the senior most person having more than 45 years of experience in the sexual medicine practice. He is the founder, trustee, and emeritus of CES EPI. He is the director at Kama Institute of Sexual Studies. He has got the Pioneer Award in Sexual Health, CSEPI, also Lifetime Achievement Award, Golden Lamp Award, and many other awards. Also, he has done the exhibition called Erotica in the 7th World Congress of Sexology, and also conducted so many workshops in India and abroad also. I welcome Dr. Brahmbhatt, sir. Next slide. Yes, Dr. TSS Rao, sir. He is the Professor Emeritus and Chief Coordinator, Psychosexual Health at the Department of Psychiatry, JSS Medical College, Mysuru. Also, he is the immediate past General Secretary of Indian Psychiatry Society, editor of Journal of Psychosexual Health, and also formerly President, Indian Association for Geriatric Mental Health, and also co-chair, Psychiatry and Human Sexuality section. And so he has so many publications and books in his name, so many awards and orations. Welcome, sir. Next. Yes, is our own Dr. Neeraj Jadhav, sir. He is the Vice President-elect, FOXY 2027, past Chairperson of Sexual Medicine Committee of FOXY, winner of Best Committee Award also, past Vice President of Rajkot Menopause Society, President of Rajkot OBGYN Society.
Okay, but then just fine.
I welcome you, sir. I welcome all the experts on this forum. Let us start the discussions, and it will be an interactive session, I hope. Apurva, shall you start?
So before we start,
Of course.
I
Yes,
would
sir.
like to thank Madan and the Sexual Health Committee of AMOGS for giving me this wonderful opportunity to sit with the two stalwarts of the sexual medicine, Raj Brahmbhatt sir and TSS Rao sir, because I have learned lots from both of them since last few years. So they are truly legend in the field of sexual medicine, and so really thank to you, Madan and Apurva, for to sit beside both of them is such a wonderful thing for me. So thank you for that. And I wish everyone world's happy sexual health day. And let's start raising awareness about the sexual health. Uh, Still, there is a lot of taboo when it comes to the sexual word sex, because still we are not that much comfortable to discuss about it openly. Still, there is so many obstacles are there, but I'm sure with efforts like this, we will overcome all the obstacle, and we will give the
what the sexual medicine deserve in the place in the our day-to-day practice. So thank you, Madan and Apurva.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much,
Thank you.
sir. Yeah, Madan sir, should I start?
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah. So, my dear friends, we all know 4th of September every year is celebrated as a World Sexual Health Day, which started in 2010. The purpose of that to bring something awareness and new about this very untalked, unteased, and discussed topic. And a theme this year is actually the sexual justice, what we can do. So it has really give a really goosebump to me that three, the Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh of the sexual medicine is with us. T.S.S. Rao sir, Raj Brahmabhat sir, and Neeraj sir. So we start from the most senior one, that is Raj Brahmabhat, but I consider him as a most younger one among us. Because age is
Thank
just
you.
a number for you, sir. I know that. Sir, when we are talking about the sexual rights, now what is actually sexual rights according to you? Because Ramaj, sir, you have that 5 decades of experience. So
Yes.
previously, when you started practice, like 4 and 5, decades back or right now, what's you think that what's the difference and what is actually
I'm
according to your practical thing? Yeah.
extremely happy with your question. And before I answer, let me say that what a beautiful way of world sexual health and with the sexual justice as a theme to celebrate with the people like you. Because Among is my second home, to be honest with you. All three of you, as you know, that we have a long relationship. And when Madan is another name of Kamadeva. When he says that you have to be there, and I said, yes, I'll be there. And then when I saw the names, I was extremely happy. Along with me, Dr. T.S.S. Rao, who is there, who is my Manas Putra. He's very shy to talk about him. What you said, when I started, लोग गाली देते थे, दूसरा कोई धंधा नहीं मिला तो इसमें गए. And that time, not a single small paper was available to us. And if it is being caught, then it was been told that you are having some pornographic material. And under that time, Indian Penal Code was there. You could be punished. So this is what was the situation when I started. If you become a cardiologist, skin specialist, you are respected. Now before I start, about Rao. 7 years we worked together, myself, we and Dr. Murugesh Vaishnav, and we brought out subspecialty of sexuality in a psychiatry. And Neeraj, amazing again person. So I see today 3 generation, आज कल और कल. And I tell you, before I start your talk, let me say 2 newspaper last 2 days only. Still we are not out of the Manipur killing of honeymoon. Here he say that the women whose head has been chopped off, now I think it has become new things. Previously it was a stove burning, gas burning, or it taking the poison and drying. Second, 10th class girl. And before that, 2 days back, there was a third standard in a primary school. They started sexually abusing a child. So you can imagine an external marital relationship, chopped up the wife and then put it in a goni bag and throw it. So this is everyday things are happening. And as Madan has very rightly said, that we are not celebrating a day, but all of us, 24 hours, unless we take up a torch in our hand and try to create awareness, it won't be a right thing. I go back, 1978, first time sexual health was declared by World Health. And then if you go back to the 3rd century in Kama Sutra, you'll be surprised to know Vatsayan says a married man without the sexual knowledge is a worthless creature. So you can imagine we were so open. Now coming back to, and we had given a Ardha Narishwar to the world. And when you say about the sexual right and sexual health, when we say about sexual right is a sexual health, pleasure is a very important part. And right for all without any discrimination, fear, shame, guilt, and stigma. So one has to enjoy, and it's a very important part of the quality of life. And let me tell you, 1978, this is the brochure which I am holding. Dr. Vatsa started and I joined along with him. There were 20 branches, 6 projects, and 44 branches across the India. We were doing sexuality education, counsel, research, therapy training. Now, coming back to the sexual rights, it is a right of everybody. It's a fundamental right. It affects the two people if they're married, and it gives a quality of life. So, what are things available? Choice, pleasure, acceptance, knowledge about it, safety from STD and other things, equality and autonomy, and most important is the privacy. So these are the part of the sexual rights which we need to. And the most important part, if I have to single out one, is the respect, respect, and respect. Because when I was traveling to Japan, so in one of the lecture, there were male and female 30 people. So all of them asked me question, and at the end, I asked all 30 women that can tell me one more thing. What would you like to have from your husband? And what all of them said, not a necklace, not a car, not a trip outside. They say respect, respect, and respect. So this Ardhanarishwar, we say Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayana, Uma Shiva. So we are considering that respect should be given. And I think if we can do, it will be wonderful. And once again, I congratulate all of you for bringing out such a beautiful subject. Please go ahead. And I'll be talking only practical things.
And Brampar sir, sexual right is not only important for individual; it's also important as a whole society.
Yes.
Because unless you give importance to the sexual right, we can't have a healthy society. And we are seeing so many problem like dowry, then sexual harassment, and sexual violence. All is because of we are not respecting each and every individual's sexual right. So that's the basic thing according to me, because it's not only affecting individual, it is also affecting the whole society as a.
You're right. So what I say, a solution for it, that apart from the sexuality education, not sex education, because many of us, when we were even, I have done it in the past, when we were asked to give sex education, we were warned that not to use this, only male anatomy, female anatomy, at the most, teach them about the hygiene and about the, say, menstruation. Nobody can talk about. Now, what is required, this booklet, which had come out in 1978 with Hyderabad branch, all of us should learn a counseling. One is the education, and no education will bring you down. Not only it creates awareness, but it makes you responsible, because people feel if we start giving education, then what will happen? People will go haywire. No, my dear friend. If you know the thing that it is a red light, 90% of the people will not cross. Maybe 10% will do it. If you say that here is an electric plug, if you put a finger inside, you'll get a shock. 99 people will not do it. So I think first is education, and all of us must learn counseling. And it may not be, even you can start it from your home, in your clinic. When you're sitting and somebody comes with a marriage, card, rather than giving a gift, you just tell him that if you need anything, please let me know. Because when I got married, I had no knowledge. Because today, WhatsApp University, and if you see Google Guru, they are spreading so much of misinformation that even all of us work 24 hours and it will be less. So I think this is what is required.
Right, sir.
Yes, sir, absolutely right. We will come to the sexuality education after some time. But I would like to discuss some problems about the adolescents, sexual
Yes.
problems which are faced by the adolescents. Either TSS Rao sir can take this highlight on this.
Okay, to start, let me just join Dr. Raj Robert in congratulating all you people who are doing a great job in this area. And when Dr. Raj Brahmbhatt mentioned about very important relevant topics when we talk about justice, rights, or equity, one important thing, I thought actually he left it open for further discussion. This knowledge or education as one of the very important area. And when you are now asking me question related to adolescence, this becomes extremely important area. See, one of the most common anxiety in many people in the society is that anything we talk about education, anything we make them understand, invariably they think negatively and they worry about something will go wrong. In fact, young people will go haywire, and so much of promiscuity and lot many other things will happen. And this is one of the reasons. See, I'm having four sisters. My father never allowed any one of our sisters, my sisters, to beyond SSLC. One of the explanation is that if the girls are made to educate or go out, means actually they'll go haywire. This is. I still remember almost about 2 decades ago, there was one very comprehensive, almost 1,600 plus studies worldwide by International Planned Parenthood Federation, and they had reviewed by sex education or sexuality education whether this type of problems are present. Ultimately, they could not find any one study which actually spoke about problems. Second point. See, if you look at our own country or our surroundings, one important point is actually, in fact, see, I practice in Mandya. Boys are requested to study, forced to study, but unfortunately, many of them discontinue studies. Girls are prevented from studying, and a whole lot of things actually happen. What actually our own observation document says, by just mere education, sending them to the school or college, in fact, gives them so much of rights. In fact, the equity cannot be brought by something like go to the shop and from the shelf you take something out. By mere education itself can bring about remarkable changes. Say somebody is studying, automatically, in fact, the marriage would have happened by around less than maybe 14, 15, 16, 18. Now 21, 25, 30. In fact, mere education can brings about changes. The third one, when we try to talk about rights, justice, or equity, one important point is actually that autonomy. A person can decide how his life should be, and what we basically call anything related to range of myths and misconceptions that are being spread by social media or press or whatever it is, all can be countered only by proper education. And proper education means that everybody becomes aware and conscious on September 4th, World Sexuality Day, and today we'll do all the classes, and tomorrow you forget about it. Can't be. So it should become part and parcel of curriculum, and people made aware of what actually can be decided as far as, in fact, the equity talks about to everybody. But when we talk about vulnerable population, in fact, the whole female population can be brought under this particular category, vulnerable population. And apart from gender and lot many other related areas. So the important point is that this needs emphasis rightly. In fact, I was there in Valencia when this World Association of Sexology, this declaration was made. And Dr. Madan has sent some of the PPTs, very beautiful actually there. In fact, some of the modifications that came up subsequently. And whenever and wherever we talk about it, if you can just narrate maybe around that 16 plus points which are there, that conveys comprehensively what all the things that need to be told. And when you're trying to talk about adolescents, see, the point is there are one or two states who made a little bit of effort. I can think of Karnataka, I can think of Maharashtra, some extent Kerala. I don't think North, any of the states, this particular thing happened. But in Karnataka, everything was shelved because some report somewhere, some teacher didn't do proper education. See, the whole issue is the politicians sit and try to make decision on a topic which actually the experts which need to scratch the head. And they determine everything what is necessary and what is not necessary. That is the major problem. And more than anything else, when you are trying to talk about adolescents or children in general, or maybe the young people in particular, what we do, what we behave, what we go about. In fact, all of these things are extremely important. And when we are trying to talk about education, you forget about young people getting education from parents and others. The main change agents have to be the doctors. But no medical curriculum doesn't, in fact, involves anything related to sexuality. I still remember one of our principal, he was a medical education director of medical education also of Karnataka. He was, after retirement, had joined our college as principal. And he had come to know that I am going to take a class today to sex education because somebody has told him. He specially sent words to me, come and something to discuss. Karke. Then he was telling me, Rao, I heard you are going to talk about sex, I believe, but be careful what you are talking. No, no, you got the point. We are addressing medical students. We are addressing final MBBS medical students. And the anxiety is so much there in the administrators that something will or can go wrong. So when we talk about comprehensive sexuality education, the three terms which are the punchline of what we basically call higher sector, other agencies. One is actually it should be age appropriate, whom we are talking. It should be scientifically proven. In fact, don't come, whatever comes to your mind, don't talk about it. The third one, culturally sensitive.
Very
Where
right.
what I am talking. So if these three things we remember, things will be fine. I think I'll stop at this level. In fact, one of the problems with sexologists actually we have these oral sex habits. Keep on talking about it.
You are
So,
very well highlighted, sir.
yeah, Madan,
Yes,
basically,
sir.
this is a era of Gen Z. We all know what Gen Z. So the problem faced by them is very different from which was there 20 years back, because there are so many issues. They are exposed to so many information, but information is not right. So that leads to the so many issue in the adolescent sexuality, and adolescent sexuality is such a vast problem. If we don't handle it properly, it will create lots of problem. One of the problem is a teenage pregnancy, because we all know that still there are so many laws to prevent the adolescent intercourse or adolescent sexuality, but still it can happen. So we have to deal with the adolescent teenage pregnancy. And second is the sexuality transmitted infection in the adolescent, because they are not aware of about of so many things, and they are not they don't have a proper information. So they can have so many sexually transmitted infection in that age group, and that can lead, that can have so many repercussions in their future life, in their reproductive life also, because of STI. And one of the thing is particularly in our country is they are not allowed to use any type of contraception. Even we as a gynecologist are not supposed to write any contraceptive to our adolescent population. Then there is we may be in soup if we write the contraception. So there is a lack of availability of contraception to our adolescent population. And one of the thing is now a digital area. So so many issue related to digital era, like extortion and the digital harassment, digital sexual problem are also cropping up. So we have to find out the ways to tackle them also. And one of the thing is nowadays so many adolescents are aware about the LGBTQ, and they can come out openly about it. But still, they will face so many issues from the society, from the family also. So there is a gender dysphoria is also there. So we have also to check about it and to handle all the issue related to it. So basically, these are the some of the issue which today's adolescents are facing, according to me.
Apurva, before you say what Dr. Neeraj and Dr. TSS Rao said, from there I can take two, three things. One is Dr. Rao said about autonomy and curriculum. And whatever Neeraj said, that adolescence problems are entirely different. I totally agree with you, because we have to be culturally sensitive. And why I'm showing you, as I told you, this is a book by Madam Dhan Panthaki, Education on Human Sexuality. It was again published by FPI, SCCRT under my this thing. And what Dr. Rao said, that first we need to educate ourselves. This is 1998 book. And till today, I say it was the first of its type in South country. There, Dr. Vatsa, Dr. J.V. Bhatt, Dr. Prabhu, Dr. Rao, all of them were there. So what you are saying is very, very right that today adolescents' problems are entirely different. Today, what has happened? Urbanization, industrialization, single unit, there is nobody in the home to tell them. And I tell you, one of my urologist friend, he said, when he was watching his 3 years young child, so the moment they saw there was some kissing scene coming, so they switch off the TV. After 2 minutes, that son says, Papa, now you start, that scene is over. And the second thing, his phone was taken by his daughter. So he said, please don't read any of my, WhatsApp and other thing messages. She said, I have read everything. They are all 3 months old. So today generation, as I told you in the beginning, it's a very much need of the day is education, and no education will make you haywire. All principals, parents, they feel we are going to tell them how to have intercourse. No, it is not there. And secondly, about the contraceptives, we are not writing. Today you go and I see every week somebody taking morning after pill and coming and taking this thing. On earlier days, there is no exaggeration from one of the branch in Madhya Pradesh. A young girl of 21 years, she had gone for 11 times MTP. And nobody has told that how to, they thought it's the easy way out. Garbage in, garbage out. That's what she said. Now, these are the things which we need to talk about it. And present problem is entirely different. My, first year, my grandchild, what he used your day before yesterday, I was shocked. He said, Dada, don't be judgmental. There are choices available to us. Now, this word I had never learned in medical college. So today we are dealing with a very ultra generation. Please go ahead.
Gen G. That is called Gen G.
What it is called, sir?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Purva.
Yeah.
Gen
It is
G,
the
sir.
generation G, sir. है ना?
Right.
अब हम लोग भी बूढ़े हो गए हैं, sir.
वही लगता है, to be honest with you.
Okay, sir.
Absolutely. So, sir, you have just recently you are talking about the education to our youth, the adolescent. Sir, why not you take the question, Raj Brahmabhat, sir? What is actually the comprehensive sexuality education?
Right.
Because this time the morning I have a Foxy webinar, and I have a person faculty from Bangladesh and one from France. Even I got to very surprised to know that even European Union was so much like most of the countries of the Europe are so much against of this, because the due to the Europe the religion factor or other
Yes.
things. So
Religion.
what basically is the comprehensive sexuality education, and why it is so important right now, and why everybody is like we should apply it, we should apply it, we should apply it? Yes, sir. Raj, sir.
Because as Dr. Rao has said very correctly, culturally, religiously, society-wise, with whom you are talking, and even your word about sex education or the right word is a sexuality education. Sex education is what we are talking about, physical part, while sexuality is, as Masters and Johnson says, a dimension of a personality. So what you are saying, that how we should try to impart to them. Now, if I can talk to you for 5 hours on this. Because last year when oration at Ahmedabad, I was given our Abhabe Badia oration, and I spoke about my experiments and education in sexuality education. Just give you one example or two example. Dharavi, everybody knows. It's a slum area, the largest slum of India. And in that, me and Dr. Prabhu had gone. So we put, first some songs over there, then food was there, food, frolic, and fun. And then they came down, and during those days, Kodak Carousel was there. After the program was over, two young boys came. They said, Sir, you have done for our self, but what about our sister? Can you do it for this? So need is there. So you have to be culturally sensitive. I have talked to 3 days on sexual reproductive health when Lallu Yadav, he was the chief minister in Patna, and it was an inner wheel. 33 women from Sri Gaya, Jamshedpur, then Darbhanga and Patna. And can you believe that all of them had no problem in talking to them, and when you talk, so how you talk? First, we have to be comfortable with ourselves, find it out what is the need of the people. Third, be culturally sensitive. Think of religion, never speak of religion. It was very good that you spoke about that some in European country, you never named the religion. I was very happy with you. And that is what is creating much more problem over there. One of Dr. Paul Fleming, who came 1985, he was in Philadelphia. So I told my friend's wife, she's from other religion. I said, Paul Fleming is a good friend of mine. He said, no, he has a very bad name. He's a worst person. And then I inquired with my friend, what is the worst? He said, he does abortion. So these are the things. And let me tell you, our country is in line to line with the world, or we are ahead of International Planned Parenthood Federation. To start with Vidyasagar ji, Ishwar Chandra. Second was our Karve brothers, A.P. Pillai and Madam Wadia. Can you believe that 1949 we started, and she talked about she was a champion of women rights and what rights which we have got about the contraceptive or empty. No other, so many countries have not got it today. So I would say we are very, very, very lucky in all these areas. So coming to your question, that you said that how we give. Every place when you go, you have to find it out what is their need. And just to give a Yamuna Nagar example, when I went, boys were sitting on one side, girls were on the other side. I said, ye kya kawali rakha hai? Then one girl got some strength and she said, sir, we are not supposed to mix. There are moral policing. And every time there is some hulla gulla in college, and boys are teasing girls and girls are teasing boys. I said, today my talk is over here. Let's start the role play. So I make some girls to walk and ask the boys that how would you do the street teasing? And they started, Lal chadi kaidan khadi, yam kale hai to kya hua? And then girls, they said, we say Glaxo baby. Then I taught how to talk. Nobody tells them that it's a pleasurable thing. How to talk to the girl, how to express your emotion, how to talk about love, how to talk about friendship. We don't talk about it. And that is the requirement as on today. Believe me, after 20 days, I received a beautiful letter from the dean of that college. What magic you have done. All the boys and girls, there are no halla gulla. They sit down, they talk to each other, they help it out, and it has become wonderful. So you have to be culturally, socially, need of the day. What is their requirement? And just to last 1 minute, UNICEF, this is what I had heard. I don't have a proof. They had done some program for Nepal, breastfeeding. They said you should not use powder, and they spent lakhs of rupees. And at the end of that, they realized that nobody was using powders. They were all doing the breastfeeding. So you must find out what is their need. And unless you find need, it will not be right. And lastly, my son came 40 years back and he asked, Papa, from where I come? So I said, great. For a sexologist father, I explained him everything. He said, I know, Papa, what you are saying. But my friend Datta comes from Calcutta. My Neeraj comes from Rajkot, from where I am coming. So this is what is the need of that. And then you should try to explain to them.
Apurva, basically, sexuality education is a big puzzle. There are so many components. You can't solve it with a single piece.
Yes.
Because there is on one side, there is a government or political power. Then there is a teaching institute, and where there is a school, colleges, and the teachers, right? And then there is we as a gynecologist or any other doctor is a third parameter of that sexuality education. And important is also parents, because we also have to convince them. So one parents are also should be involved when whatever we prepare about the sexuality education. And also to whom we are going to teach is also important, that is the adolescent age group. So all these 5 or 6 component are equally important. Whatever you try to find out the solution, because only one section you target net, that will not achieve anything. So all of the 6 segments should sit together and find out the problem or what should be the ideal way of teaching, and then only we can have a proper sexuality education and the proper impact.
Yeah, very correctly said, sir. Brahmbhatt sir also, yes. But people has knowledge, but where to implicate, that is the main problem. Nowadays generations, yes, they know that what is actually the contraceptive is doing, but they are not using it. So that's why there is a lot of the teenage pregnancy and that's all. So this is what there should be
Hmm.
a systematic way, what Neeraj sir has already stated, and when it should be from the government now, it will be more impactful. That is the thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, sir.
Apurva, let
So
me
now,
see that example only. You said that they know about the contraception, but imagine if any adolescent going to the medical shop to buy that contraception, will he or she will be able to get that? No, that's the main issue. They are aware, but how to get it, it's the main issue they are facing. So we should have a policy that can help them to get the proper knowledge, and how to get them and how to use that is also that equally important. Apura, you are muted.
Yes.
yes, sir. Hmm.
After listening to you, became mute, you know.
Yeah.
No, sir. Sir, absolutely. You have
Problem is the implementation of whatever we are knowing,
Correct, correct.
basically.
Actually, yeah, government's disinterest is also responsible for that, and it
Yeah,
should be
that's why I
included
said
in
na,
government
political will is
strategies.
also important.
The
So
health plans and
can I,
strategies, it should be incorporated.
Neeraj Bhai and Madan, can I tell you one thing?
Yes,
Government will never take an initiative
yes.
because
That is the problem.
politically they are going to disrespect or displease some part of the community, and they are the all vote banks. So they will never do it, you know. We have given 2 times curriculum to the secretary of the state, education secretary. Now she was a minister in one of the state, you know. Can you believe every time we had spent, you know, all the stakeholders more than 10 days and nothing has happened. So
I know.
these things will not come up. What I'm saying, as I told you, at individual level, start teaching the people. Take out 2 minutes, and that will spread a right news. And the best thing is to do, go to the newspaper, go to the local TV channel. As I had been a sex advisor for 11 years in Debonair, so that is why people didn't have a single piece of paper. They say this is the information to us that was told to me in Bangladesh. So I would say start educating people, and unless and until we counsel, see, along with the rights we have been talking, I use the word, with the right comes the responsibility. That we have to say what Kennedy said, that don't ask for right, what you can do for the country, you tell us. And today we are not telling them that take this condom or a contraceptive and go and enjoy. If you feel that you are adult enough to enjoy sex, then you should be able to take all the responsibility. And the responsibility, most important, is the relationship and the respect. These 3 words are very
absolutely,
important.
I agree with
absolutely.
Pankaj sir, but we as a doctor are doing our part. But unless everyone is involved, we can't have a that effect or whatever we want to achieve. Otherwise, it's very difficult. We can do our effort, but it will be very limited, and that will not bear the fruit what we are trying to achieve. So unless
No,
everyone is involved and everyone
No,
agrees about that point, it's very difficult, according to me, what I
no,
believe.
I'll give you a solution, you know.
Hmm.
During HIV/AIDS days, now if you talk about AIDS, you have to have talk about sex. You have to talk about condom. That was only thing available, and safer sex. So people won't like it. So what we gave, the label was changed. AIDS awareness, personality development, adolescence upbringing. Like every time Cadbury, every Diwali they come out, or every Raksha Bandhan come out with a different packages. So we had to do this way. And once you do this, the best example was Bombay Municipal Corporation. When you think of municipality, you think it is all gone. I was invited. They said, Dr. Saab, you put your suit down. And they said, sit down with us. Dr. P.B. Sethi, and there was Taranekar. We all sat down, and we have idea that municipality is useless. No. First, they approach the health ministry, and then they approach the education ministry. That is upside down. So from pyramid, you know, you come down. Then they ask them that this is the need of the day, write to all the school principals and trustees that they have to implement this program. So all the principals and they were brought trustees and they were told that we are not going to talk about asanas. We are going to talk about responsible. And then teachers were trained because Dr. Neeraj or Dr. TSS Rao or Dr. Robert cannot go. So you have to create another level. And from that whole program, now just imagine whenever you were called or I was called, only once for a lecture. And we leave them dry and they don't have any answer. So what they did, 4 programs. First is awareness, then education, then ask them to present something, and then the question answers. So all way, I think, it's a very well done. And this particular book, Dhanpantha Ki, I tell you, it will tell you not that it is being done by us, but she was one of the pioneers as far the sex education is concerned. In a Bombay International School, she found that on a 10th class, they got a sanitary napkin. They started playing every boys. She could have thrown them away. She could have called their parents. She said, after the recess, I take a lecture. She went, told them what happens. She said, you write the bad words, wrote down the bad word. Do you mean to say to your colleagues? And then they were all surprised. They said, we don't want to do this. And then they became responsible. So how you teach them, every time you will have to have a different way of doing it. And my teacher Bansal used to say, 1001 appendix is a new appendix. So follow the rules. Go ahead, sir.
Of course, just only one point when we are trying to talk about education. One is how we prepare them, young people, for the life. That is one aspect of it. And even when we are trying to look at the patients, we did one study of around 200 from clinic and 200 from our hospital. What we found was almost 80% of the cases were actually one way or other sexual misconceptions. And those who had some specific problems, 80% of them were again directly, indirectly related to the lack of proper education and knowledge. Extremely important in whatever way we try to look at it. This is important. And second thing, the social media and other things what we have speaking so far. One important thing is actually some people actually gain knowledge, but many of the people are the real and real. There is a world of difference. They won't be able to differentiate. And add to that, the freedom that has come because of the internet, mobility of the people. The earlier, it was not possible. Now, every girl has scooty, or every person can actually move around. So, it has created a revolution in problems. And I did one PhD on what we call Dhat syndrome, what we call culturally speaking, various myths and misconceptions related to the sexual issues people. And I have about thousands of stories. It will be very surprising how anybody can think in that line for but that is the real case scenario. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for elaborate about the importance of sexuality education. Sir, after that, now comes to the reproductive rights. So I think, Neera, sir, you are a gynecologist. So what do you think are the reproductive rights of a woman? The first question. Second, what as a doctor, as a law, we are doing and our association like Foxy is doing in that? Yes, Neera, sir.
Yeah, so basically, reproductive right is basically every woman has a right to information about the when she want to become pregnant, if she become pregnant, whether she want to continue pregnancy or whether she want to terminate it for any reason, uh, and to have a proper access to the medical facility for their pregnancy. That is the basically concise all about the reproductive right of our women. And I'm really happy that India we have achieved so many things about the reproductive right, because nowadays we are able to provide them information about the pregnancy and everything. We are able to give them proper healthcare facility to deliver their babies, and we have a so much liberal MTP law in our country, because I think very few country internationally have that much liberal role when it comes to the MTP, because our women have a right to choose whether they want to continue their pregnancy, and there are so many indications under which they can terminate the pregnancy. Even by law, they don't require the permission of their husband to go for the MTP. So that is the biggest takeover as an Indian, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, sir.
Spacing of pregnancy also, termination of pregnancy, number
Yeah,
of child
contraception,
you
yes.
would like to have, regarding the female sterilization,
Mm.
decision making for that. So many problems.
And I think the India is among the first countries among the world, among the first country in the world who give the abortion rights to its date back in 70s when people are, and is still I have the most of the developed country are actually thinking whether they should give or not. So this is one thing. And
But
again about the women's
Apurva, there
right
are some
in
social issue also. We all know about it, because it's ultimately not only woman's choice to become pregnant or not. Ultimately, it is sometimes husband, her family that decide whether she should become pregnant, when she should become pregnant, whether she should continue her pregnancy or not. It's not only her decision. Many times we have commonly seen. So that's why we are lacking somehow in that giving her the reproductive right to that woman.
That is
So
why there is role of sexuality education.
yes.
Yes. Let us.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Next. And on our organization like CSEPI, FOXY, IMA is every organization is doing at their best to give this sexuality education through their members.
And
And we go in society.
one of
Yeah.
the thing nobody wants to talk is about the marital rape. So
Yeah.
there is a no law which can prevent the marital rape, and we are all are silent on that.
Yeah.
Rampart sir, would you like to tell
Yeah.
us about marital rape? What's your opinion? Whether it should be there, because it has a it's like double-edged sword. It can be used properly, or it can be used misused also by the woman.
It can be
Those
misused.
you are
Absolutely, sir.
yeah. So what's your take on that, Rao sir
Rao
or
sir.
Rampart sir? I would like to.
In Journal of Psychosexual Health,
Hmm.
we wrote an editorial on marital rape and
Hmm.
implications. And also, in fact, one of the other editorial was related to the Uniform Civil Code, which was introduced in Uttarakhand. And one of the editorial was on issues, many of these things related to what can be done and where we are, including the third dimension of Canada is actually the adultery and current position. See, each of these area, very rightly you pointed out that it is a two-edged sword. Either of the way it can work out. And we are all well aware now the amount of litigations that are actually coming up. See, for example, at a one particular point after a relationship of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, ultimately it is blamed in some particular way for various reasons. Though these are all very specific cases which get reported in the press, but all said and done, this can work out to be a little problematic, and this is why actually to make a proper decision on this is actually still hanging. One important thing I has about adultery is actually now it has been taken off from that criminal activity too. In fact, it has been turned out to be something like civil. And when we are trying to talk about marital rape, even live-in relationship could be as good as actually married couple. And there is another dimension area in the newer generation what we are finding it. So that is a different topic. In fact, there are nuances involved one can discuss for a pretty length of time, but all said and done, it is actually two-edged sword. The point what we need to carry home is, in fact, sex is one of the most intimate activity one can think of. And here, the coercion, violence, assault, and all those things what we talk about, that should not be there. if we agree that, in fact, both are equal and we are responsible for each other, the chances that it is a problem actually comes down. But our society is actually patriarchal. In fact, we have come across any number of people with a lot of problems. You forget about marital rape. Very recently, we had one lady who came and told, I have lost all the interest in sex and it is creating problem. She has to get up at morning 4:30 to 5 o'clock and prepare breakfast and prepare what we call food for the in-laws. She goes to Bangalore about 2.5 hours journey, finishes work till 6 o'clock, and then another 2 hours, 2.5 hours she has to travel back, and she is totally exhausted. And at home, the point made is daughter-in-law has come, is it is her job to prepare food. That is one. And in-laws are very particular that food should be prepared at home and by daughter-in-law. You forget about marital rape. This is a sort of rape only, assault only. It looks so simple from social angle. And the whole treatment involved was actually appoint one cook who can take care of the things. No, you can mitigate a lot of problems. So rape as one of the major common issue too. In fact, the hundred of other ways, both what we call physically, emotionally, socially, in fact, they are subjected to difficulties. One should be well aware of. So we should be open to some of these type of things. You never bother about she is married and she is at home and she has to. But anybody getting up 5 o'clock in the morning and struggling till middle of the night, this is actually an assault. This is actually a problem.
But Rao sir,
Neeraj,
basically issue
Neeraj,
here
can I
is
add?
the
Neeraj,
yes,
can
yes,
I
sir.
add? See, I have been seeing last 45 years, So I've seen tremendous change in the whole sexuality and marriage and within the bedroom, the sex. I remember 1980, one of the case. He used to drink a lot, smoke, and diabetic and obese. He was not getting an erection. So to get an erection in the middle of the night when he feel that something is good, okay, he'll wake up his wife, try to make her that you masturbate to me, or he will suck her breast and do so many things you will not believe for half an hour. And then, then he will throw her out next 6 days. He may not bother. So this is what was happening. And you'll be shocked to know that they went to a leading gynecologist and he said, okay, enough is enough. Her uterus was even removed. But then he will come and try to touch the breast and trouble her every night. Then she told me this line, till today, it is not gone from my mind. Sir, once in a week, I made a discussion with him and I said, let's compromise. Once in a week, I'll allow you. That night, I become prostitute and I allow him to do everything. So you can imagine such a thing. Now, this is definitely what Dr. Rao said is a rape. It is against this. If she is not well, she's coming out of the pregnancy, too much of work, illness. But nowadays, the whole thing has gone to another side. Every week, there are tears in my eyes. I see so many divorce cases, and our society will be flooded, which is I've been telling for last 20 years. And last about 3 years back, I read a paper that marriages are made in heaven and broken on the earth. Nowadays, the sudden jump has come. Even if this Manipur case, I talked to many of my women colleagues, and what they said, you men have suppressed us 5,000 years. Now it is our time. So one, it's too wrong cannot make a right. We have to condemn that this is wrong, which is in the society. What has happened in the past, that was also wrong. So we must start with a new chapter and new things. And as you very rightly said, today adolescents, they don't think oral sex as a sex. They don't think masturbation as a sex. They don't consider anything which does not cause a pregnancy is not a sex. And they are much more open than what we are sitting over here, all the seniors. They tell each other that I had a 2 or 3 relation, it was physical, it was sexual, and they say it's okay. Virginity, those ideas have gone. So marital rape, somebody asked me, he said, my wife, whenever genuinely, because there is a fight going on between my wife and my mother. So I became the victim of it. And she holds it as her power of attorney. She will not allow me. Now, I am a simple, straightforward person. I cannot go outside. I have my reputation, I have got my ijat, and society this thing respect. He said, what is to be done? I had no answer. Then some of the friend, like he said, he said, ask that woman, wife of him, that you give in writing and give him to the court that though we are married, I allow him to go and have extramarital relationship outside. See, that's why what Dr. Rao said is very correct. It's a very, very complicated matter. All these years I have been reading, but it has so many dimension of sex. It is not only a physical. So we have to consider, and if we make one party happy, other party will be unhappy. So we have to balance it around. We do not have total black and white answer to this.
Yes.
Every case has a different ideas.
Because Brahmbhatt sir, here there are two problems basically. One is the financial independent. Most of the women still are not that financially independent, so they are dependent on their husband or the family. So, and second thing is the social stigma associated with the divorce. In our society, divorce is not considered as a good thing or a proper thing. If woman is divorced, there is some stigma attached to the dead woman. So that two factors are very much important when it comes to the reproductive right of the woman.
No, that those days are gone, my dear friend. I am in a
No,
metro
still,
city. I am
yeah.
in a metro city, and
Hmm.
there are lawyers. And I have been told by one girl that I will have sex with anybody whom I like at my terms, my condition, my liking. Today, day before, yesterday only, Wednesday, I was in Nanavati hospital and the case came. For 4 years married, they didn't have a single sexual intercourse. And what was the problem? Very simple problem. Boy was carrying myths. So first of all, we must make our people aware. All of you must learn how to manage the male and female sexual dysfunction. All of you must learn how to do a counseling, and all of you should do, how to do a sex education. Unless we do all these three-pronged attack, nothing is going to help you. Now, what was the problem? They went to the Google and got some bogus doctor. Then somebody, uncle told that you go to Ayurveda and they got a Suvarna Bhasma and whatnot, and all those things happened. So I think one is the education, awareness, and other things we need to do it. Otherwise, what you are thinking, maybe after 3 years it will come up in Rajkot. And one of the psychiatrists from Surat, she wrote a very beautiful article. 1960, Jagte Raho was the last film. Raj Kapoor and Nargis separated. Last scene in Jagte Raho. After that, they never met. While you see our three heroes, what you call this
Khan Triputi.
no, our Saif Ali Khan, his wife, and that Shahid Kapoor. So they had a breakup, but then they all work together. So today world has changed. You are very rightly, I like that word, that today's adolescent problems are entirely different. So we cannot see with the old specs. We will have to change our specs, change our number, and see the things what is happening on the ground. And India is not one country.
Yes.
I think whole of Europe, all the things are here, and the amount of religion, amount of language, amount of political, it is very, very difficult. To be honest with you, some Russian president came, this is 56 joke. He said he didn't believe in God. So he said, when you were leaving India, he said, what do you think? He said, I now believe in God. Because such a mess only God can manage, nobody else can manage.
So our issues are quite different, and we only
Yes.
can find the solution for that problem.
But I'll tell you, 1986, when I had gone to study just to get a stamp of diploma in Institute of Advanced Studies in Human Sexuality in San Francisco, I was crying every day. Their whole culture was different. And what I said, what was taught to me, if two people, you are sitting with a girl, you hold her hand and you say, let's go and enjoy outside, and they go and enjoy and come back. So I said, whether this is right or that is right. So it's totally, and what we are coming to the now topic of LGBTQ, I'll tell you about some funny things which happened because it was a capital of the gay people.
Okay. So Madan sir, yeah,
Yes, yes.
over to you.
Okay. It was actually a nice discussion. Let us move on to some.
Without telling anybody, I'm taking little extra strong.
Yeah. Now we will discuss one very important issue, LGBTQ in adolescence. we see so many problems are there in the adolescence regarding to LGBTQ, and some common challenges are also there. They are vulnerable to so many mental and physical health issues, and we need to address our people and also society about that. Then I want to ask Rao sir, what do you think about which are the challenges of this community, mainly prominent challenges, and how you look for that, and which risk factors are there for that they are vulnerable?
Of course, straight away when we talk about vulnerable groups, you see, any group can be vulnerable that way, but this is one of the most vulnerable group. Two things. See, there are some countries where LGBTQ or gender issues are accepted as part of normal life. So if we are trying to look at from that angle, quite a few Western countries for that matter. There are some countries where this is yes, this is no, in between a whole lot of, that means we are going through a bit of what you call transition phase. Some people accept, some people don't accept, and loss this, that, and in fact, somewhere in between we are. Some improvement is there, but that means it is a society in transition. There may be some countries where this is absolutely banned or problematic. So we may be talking about some of these Muslim countries, most probably this Afghanistan now currently, where totally, absolutely, this is banned. Some, say in America now, we are talking about a lot of issues related to LGBTQ. In fact, we thought we are having the problem, but there are some people who have created much more problem in some of the countries where things were going on smoothly for all practical purposes, it looks like. So the issue here is when we confront to, in fact, not confront, conform to the societal rules, problems are likely to be less. Have to swim against the tide means automatically things are bound to happen. And in so many ways, at least many of the parents or elders or the earlier generation, they can't come to the terms that their ward is actually having some of these ideas. So anything you hide, anything you suffer within, it is bound to create a lot of problems. In fact, psychological problems when we talk about anxiety, depression, suicide, too, in fact, a lot many other things, they're extremely commonly reported among this particular group. The other one is even in the medical fraternity, our awareness that to accept something which has come scientifically proven also, it is something difficult for quite a few people. But one of the major problems is there are psychiatrists who are trying to treat so many ways to modify their mind or attitude. And ultimately, in fact, if I remember roughly around 10, 12 years ago, when I was editor in Journal of Psychiatry, we came out with position statement from Indian Psychiatric Society. And now rules and laws are actually very clear cut about up to what extent what one should understand. We cannot do anything, any procedure to change anybody's mind. One is not possible. Second, what we're talking about the rights, coercion to 100 other things, because you are influenced by what parent wants and things like that. They're all actually can be treated as a criminal activity. In fact, that is the extent of the changes the laws have come into. We wrote one or two editorials related to what the initial judgment for the NAS, in fact, application to subsequently what was reversed and to some extent modified by the third agenda, what actually the Supreme Court approved to. Now, of course, there is some problem whether marriage between them can be allowed, whether they can have children. These are all some of the issues still controversial and going on actually. Coming to the type of problems what they can go through because they form the minority. And they are minority in a community where the sex in general itself is a problem. And anything other than that heterosexual is treated as something totally abnormal, would drive any person to actually the desperate level and lead into a lot of problems. one good thing that is actually happening is actually now at least professionals, we understand that it is. And when we are trying to talk about, see, if you look at the classification, children and adolescents as one group. Now, earlier we used to talk about gender fluidity and adults by the time they recognize and issues. And what one should do about what is the early age? See, gender, in fact, science talks about gender is actually individual becomes aware or fixed by around 3 years of age. It cannot change. True, in fact, now fluidity, it means it can change. So a lot of these things. And from WPATH version, see, before we make a diagnosis to interfere with any of these type of things, minimum 2 psychiatrists have to certify this is there. The reason is very simple because we have, see, I can quote you one of the example wherein this particular person was suffering from bipolar disorder. Whenever he gets into that hypomania, mania, he says, I want sex change to, in fact, there's a lot of things actually going to different doctors. But once he goes into depression, in fact, his total version changes, and when he's normal, the total different version. So there are about three things what I am trying to convey message by this example. One is this is a vulnerable group, highly prone for range of psychological and other related problems. That is one. Second one, we medical people to the population in general, in fact, how we can work it out and actually we help them. The third one, second one. The third one, now the modifying somebody is means actually making the parents or others concerned, how they can accept and how the life can be made comfortable. That is. And before venturing into something what we basically call interventional or by certain procedures, be very careful and try to take a proper opinion and try to do rather than jumping, being aggressive and enthusiastically you try to do something means you'll be creating a lot more problems than actually solving it. I think this is the introduction what I can give. Yeah, when you talk about psychological problems with the treatment, with modification, with the interventional procedures, what are the things? In fact, each one of these areas are very big areas and each one carries significant issues to talk about.
And one of the issue also faced by this community is about the sexually transmitted infection, because they are most vulnerable to sexually transmitted infection because of the
Multiple partners.
yes, multiple partners.
These
And,
multiple partners, lack of education and drug usage to
yes,
like prostitution as a profession to a lot many other things get into the picture. It's true.
yeah, and
Hey,
substance abuse is also one of the things which is more common in this community, LGBTQ community, compared to the other sector of the society.
no, I didn't get you. What is common?
Substance abuse, sir.
Yes. See, because what has been happening, this whole community, they have gone through the worst phase in the life, you know. They couldn't talk to anybody, they couldn't tell to the parents, and they were living as if they are a criminal people. And in the initially, as Dr. Rao said, that lots of electric shocks were given, they were beaten up, they were taken to the religious people, and all sorts of things were done to them. If you look at the treatment part during those days. And I remember a young boy who came from London, and he was a gay. And there it was a very big people, and they said they want to get him married. And once got the history, I said, you cannot touch him. Then the family doctor and the uncle said, we will show you. They took them to a call girl, which was costing them 25,000 an hour during those days. And they went there, and boy had no erection. He couldn't do anything. He was not interested. And lastly, the worst part comes now. The doctor and the uncle utilized that. Now, to be honest with you, when I was in my own teacher, we were in the one of the lecture together, and he had taught me anatomy, and he belongs to another religion. So there was a question that if somebody has a relation with the next door's, neighbor's wife, and with a man to man, which is a worse crime. And for the first time I learned worse is man to man. And I said, why? He said, God has given you for procreation. And with the next door neighbor, though it is, but that is a crime against the human. Well, this is a crime against God. And I tell you, when I came here, nobody was ready to talk on homosexuality. So this is the issue which you see, 1991st issue. It's an underground magazine by Dr. Ashok Rao Kavi, who was a crusader. Another is Dr. Grover, Anand Grover, who is a psychiatrist. Not psychiatrist, he's an advocate. And lastly, you'll be shocked to know Madam Sakuntala Devi, the mathematician wizard, she created awareness because her husband was a homosexual. And during those days, nobody was ready to talk. Two of the TV program all rejected. And I was invited because they think that you are like this. Now, coming to the medical part, Dr. Rao, I would like you to answer these questions. You know, this has been in my mind for a many ages. The maximum work which was done initially was by Alfred Kinsey, and his Kinsey table. One side is a bisexual, one side is a homosexual, one side is a heterosexual, and then there are grade which they go through. Now the question, one first thing is that nobody can treat a homosexual and nobody should touch them. They cannot be. They are that way. No, that they are born that way. Though they are in the minority. They said 2% of the female, 4% of the male, and now the interesting things comes up. Situational gay relationship that was about more than 10 to 12 years in 17% of the people. And initially, you will be shocked to know, I used to shock my audience that out of here, we are sitting here, 33% had a one homosexual, not relation, encounter. It happened in their life. Maybe by his uncle, maybe by neighbor, maybe by anybody. And everybody has accepted. And during those days, the moment you say homosexual, people were thrown away. Thanks to the Dostana movie, Karan Johar, then this Abu Sandeep Jani, this thing. So they lived whole life as a guilty, and that's why they are more creative because they never went out. Now, in a city of Bombay, what happens, Dr. Rao, I would like to tell you that our locals are very much loaded with the people. You cannot stand there. So a young boy who came, he said he sat down. He was, standing there. There was no place. Somebody came and tried to touch him and tried to masturbate him in the crowded train. First time he got shocked. It was a very painful situation for him. He ejaculated out. And then after a while, after 5-10 days, he started enjoying this part. So he will go and look out and they know each other, okay, what sort of a thing. And when it came to his marriage, he was very much worried. So one of the psychiatrists from Surat told me that there are two words, egosyntonic and egodystonic. Those who are comfortable with them, don't touch them. Uncomfortable with them, don't touch them. But those which are uncomfortable, they can be a bisexual even. So there is and one side is a heterosexual, one side is a homosexual, and one side is bi. So I would like to have your scientific intervention into this. Because people who thinks that they are homosexual. There was another boy who tried to have sex with his girlfriend. Now, first time he didn't got an erection, fear of failure, performance anxiety. It continued. Then he tried out with the man. And then he started believing that I am a homosexual. So I would like your, scientific acumen to give me some answer on this on a public platform.
There are almost 3-4 areas we need to throw light on because the points that are raised. See, one important point is Kinsey's scale. It's a 7-point scale, wherein one side total heterosexual to one side total homosexual. In between, different percentage. In fact, if you draw one particular line, we can easily understand which one way actually can be labeled, and there is a scale to establish whether it is totally this or that. That is one aspect of it. Second one, see, sexuality. See, for example, now we are talking so much about female sexuality. See, many of the times we have seen women coming and telling, first time they realized that their body is arousable and it can happen because of some particular point. This happens, this being aware, both in case of boys and in girls, and some particular point. This is what we basically call brain mapping, sex mapping, mind mapping. There are a whole lot of things.
John Wani had said, John Wani.
See, the important point, according to, if you go by psychodynamic theories, every girl is searching for the father, every boy is searching for the mother, and many of this the love at first sight. In fact, this girl is having a nose which looks like my mother's nose. My mother was looking so nice when she was wearing blue color saree, because this lady came in front who is having blue color saree. I fall in love. One point matching, but there are 99 other points which are not matching, which actually can create quite a bit of difficulty. The third point is actually getting aware of what actually happens, which arouses them. And many of the times it has been said that some things like that get fixed. Again, coming back to this mapping concepts and all of that. See, whether we are talking about our psychiatric disorders, our common general behavior, or homosexuality, these are all realized in that particular fashion. See, I was standing in the corner, and that night, beautiful girl was going, and she turned back and gave a smile, and again tomorrow I'll go and stand there, because it was positive reinforcement.
Right.
She took the slipper in the hand, means I become so. I don't go to particular. That is what I call phobia or whatever this thing. Phobia for cat. In the movies and all, they might have shown some rape scene and or something other, that meow. Now, individual forget about the rape scene, but they'll remember that meow sound, and now I am scared of cat. And in the same fashion, there are some people who get aroused by some particular, say for example, this particular person, he was traveling in the train and somebody touched it and all of that, and he got, that time he realized, in fact, this is called getting nanam. Like, so I understand something actually happening to my body. And if you try to look at, see, these are all different degrees of problem actually individual can have. If you are talking about the degree, see, the homosexual, this thing, masturbation is the easiest. You don't have to struggle anything. You are there, and your hand is there, and some imagination works out. Absolutely fine. Now, to get girl agree for that, it's a very big effort, expenditure, struggle, and whole lot of things are involved. So in between these two is actually homosexuality. It is much more cheaper and easier. So people will try to go for where effort can be less, expenditure is less, one easily one can turn out. No, you got the point. So this is the way people have described. That is one aspect of it. The second one is, see, for example, this opioid and other research has brought out. See, if somebody is dependent on opioid, he gets the pleasure so much out of it, which no girl can give actually. Pornography can give so much of excitement, which no woman can give. No man can give. No, you got the point. These are all relative terminologies which actually work in that particular fashion. I think these are the one, two, three things. What are the fourth one you mentioned actually? I lost track.
To me?
Then you asked me the
So no, one more, because
which area I didn't
this
answer.
is one ego syntonic and ego dystonic I asked you.
Okay. See, for
And one more question has come up that I'll ask you later on.
See, ego syntonic and ego dystonic, as the terminologies themselves indicate, this is one of the old earlier terminology, and even today it is applicable also. What it means is, if somebody is happy with this thing and that is the way he is, absolutely fine. And this realization that I am homosexual can come sometime or other, that is a different issue. And some people get this awareness after marriage. Some people want to try, and then actually they realize the type of difficulties involved. And many people may be aware in the beginning itself that it is actually I am homosexual. But if the individual is not comfortable, then only the whole issue comes the treatment. And this could be related to many things, and starting from with cause or without cause, again one has to go through. It is because of the myths and misconceptions what he is actually thinking that way too. If certain particular disorder and other related things contributing, one need to differentiate. In whole sexual medicine practice, see, if two people are there and doing whatever they want to do and both are happy with that, there
Yes.
is no problem.
I say many
When
a
there is
time,
actually disagreement
under
is
the
issues.
under the sun, two consenting adult in their privacy, without disturbing anybody, whatever they do without hurting or coercion to anybody, that is considered good and normal for them. And I'll tell you that once I went to Bhopal, very
And in,
interesting.
of course, before the
Go ahead,
point
go
is,
ahead.
in our country, all our laws and society in general is adversarial. What it means is, it is a problem only when you complain. See, till you complain, it is not a problem. Whether a land transaction or a marriage or sex or whatever you take, if two people are there and with whatever difficulty they are going through, till they complain, it is not a problem. Only when they complain, it becomes a problem. And medically speaking, and that holds good. Even our medical system, that's the way it works.
But Rao sir, basically, issue about the LGBTQ is probably they have shown in our say films or media in a typical way, but it's not like that. They are they can be as normal as like you and me.
Absolutely.
It's
They are
very
normal.
difficult to
That's what the whole concept of it is, actually they are normal.
yes.
Yeah,
Normal, like
But
me
I
and
think
you.
very important message we want to give over here to all the people and participant here that they are absolutely normal. They may be in a minority. They are not a criminal. They are not, as you said, there are various theories have been put down, as he said, psychodynamics. Somebody tried to do hormones, somebody tried to genes, but not a single therapy, but a theory is right is on today. So we must respect them, and I have met number of them, and they are the most decent people. One of the nicest people I've ever come across are those, and they are very much, you will be surprised to know they are on the society level. They are highly respected in their own field. They are doctors, they are engineers, they are lawyers, they are musicians, they are actors, they are film actors. And I can tell you, absolutely, they are very normal. And just to how I explain, I was conducting a workshop in Bhopal. So Kala Bhavan, I went with my Narendra karke, jo manager tha. So we went there. So after watching the Kala Bhavan, we were coming out and there is a small auditorium. तो वहां पर there was a classical program, and that was, by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi or somebody. So he looked at me. He said, "I would also like to see." By the time, not Bhimsen, Kishore Yamonkarji. And by the time we went, I was suited booted. Everybody was in jubba kurti, and I sat down with that. So though I was the only one in minority, but I'm a normal person. Same thing I explain this way. And if you go to the nudist colony wearing this, you'll be abnormal. So just think on this line. So they are very normal. If they don't want to, you cannot give any treatment or anything to make them okay. You must open-hearted accept them, what is called coming out. And I have helped out many people because they suffer. Once that mother has come out and he said from the sixth standard, ninth standard, the boy is thinking like this. And today you'll be surprised to know queer. I have started getting now asexual. If they fail here, if they fail other side, they say, am I asexual? There's one fellow, Dr. Rao may know, he is going to him, going to me, and going to somebody else. And because he failed X, Y, Z place, he is thinking that he's a homosexual. Now it is a very strong belief which he is carrying. So this is, I would say, we are still working. And then now fluid sexuality has come up. Today you may call me as a Mr. Neeraj and tomorrow Nirja karke baat karo. So these are all things which I think.
One of the other real life experience I tell you. Once our principal and one of the dermatologists, they had gone to Delhi because there was an HIV related program was there. And they went and told, we'll stay in one room. Room was not given, and half an hour over, 1 hour over, 2 hours over. For everybody, they have given the room, but these two people were not given. They were trying to get the opinion from the America. There are two men here, they want to stay in the same room, whether they can be permitted.
I would,
Both the ways.
on
Some of the very forward communities, in fact, they look at it so ugly, but that's why the cultural sensitivity everywhere it applies.
lighter way, I'll share one thing. It's a real life thing. And after 20 years, I shared, and now I share openly. 20 years back, during 80s, I was going for AIDS awareness program, and from Nasik we were coming. Rainy days, Igatpuri, the train stop or something. So when I got down at VT station, I came out fast. There was only one taxi available. So I got in. And then I saw at a distance Ashok Rao Kavi, who is a crusader of homosexuality. So I asked him, Ashok, where you would like to go? He said, I go to Santa Cruz. He says, I am going to Andheri. I can drop you in Santa Cruz West. He said, okay. Rain just had stopped. All the roads were wet and it was going a fast, this taxi fellow. I had to tell him, please stop it, please go slow. He said, Raj, why are you worrying? Let them do it. Let them drive. The roads are empty. After 25 years, again, at our CSAPI conference in Lonavala, I told him we were sharing I said, Ashok, you remember? He said, yes, you were mad. I said, no, you know why? I said, if taxi would have been tumbled down, next day Times of India headlines would have been the international sexologist and the crusader, they died together in an accident. What my children will think all throughout their life. So he also laughed. We had a laugh together. So, people were not associated. The moment you say he's a homosexual, they throw away. Now, one of the friend, closest friend, his son, he was not getting married. Now, ultimately, he got married to a boy, and they are living a wonderful life. They have to go out of country and get married. So that itself, marriage rules, two different community. So there was a very interesting talk which I was listening. They said it's not that easy for the judges also, that how to tomorrow if the property things comes up, if they want to separate, what will happen? What law they will apply? Hindu law, Muslim law, Christian law, what sort of a thing? So I think we are all passing through a very fluid state. We are seeing the whole history being made in front of us. And we are learning, every day is a learning process. And that's why I say really a sexual medicine is a real practicing in the real way. Every day is a learning. Am I right, Dr. Rao? Because after so many cases, every day case comes up which is new and we have to scratch our head. And that gives you much more challenge. So I'm so happy that all of you have started it, in a way. I would say instead of talks, like-minded people and those who are really interested and those who can be teachers, a small 2 days workshop will help us. That is what I have learned all throughout in my life through workshops only. Five lines you learn, and then at the end of the day, you will be able to practice. And once you start practicing, it's like swimming. You read about everything, but once you jump into the water, you know what are the problems. So I would say this.
Absolutely,
But
sir.
sir,
Absolutely.
problem is that even as a medical fraternity, are we sensitive or to this LGBTQ community? Because how many of us will be so much comfortable if any patient who is a LGBTQ come to our OPD for any consultation?
No,
Very hardly few will be comfortable talking to them to tackle their issues.
Dr. Rao has asked me to write a chapter, in this friends, and for a postgraduate we are writing. So what you said is very correct that first of all, we have to be compatible with them. We cannot show they are as normal as my brother, sister, or anybody. And then you have to, once they are comfortable, so how to take a history with them is also very difficult. What question to ask? So I'm going through that process. And if you are, because in Gujarat, at Rajpipla, that Prince of Rajpipla,
Mahendra Goyal.
Mahendra Gold Singh, he openly declared himself. And his family was not, because they are king, and they cannot accept such things. But then ultimately they were accepted. So now, as I said, after Dostana movie, after Karan Johar's, film, and this Sandeep and other people coming up, more and more people now I see. Those who were not, and people are understanding. The good part is family is understanding. And now the another joke is going on. If a girl says that, or a boy says, I want to get married, previously which caste, which community, Chinese, African. Now they say, I hope that is not if a boy is getting married, not a boy, and a girl says this is what is unfortunately going on. It's a joke, but don't take it as a joke. They need your help, they need your empathy, they need your real understanding.
Absolutely, sir. So after this all discussion, we discussed almost every aspect of the sexual health. We can't discuss in elaborate because it will take the months and year together. But sir, after all these things, we know that every year World Association of the Sexual Health is come with a theme. And this year, the theme is the sexual, justice. So I just want to know from you, each of one you, in a very short, starting from Neeraj sir. Sir, according to you, what is actually the social justice and why there is a need to come up with this type of theme?
Because we as a human being need a world where their sexual right have been uh, given the importance and the what you say they can practice their sexuality without any problem or without any violence or without any discrimination, and that's the sign of a healthy society. So it's everyone's duty that we create such a sexually knowledgeable society, and that is the for the everyone to get benefit of it. So
So I would say, the justice, if you see, it's evolving now. The whole thing is evolving. The history is being made in front of us, and there are various aspects. If you go through the judges, judiciary, what they say, let the parliament make a law, and parliament will not make because of the certain political reason. One side is religion, one side is politics. So, they are under crossfire. Just to pass on that they are normal in private, they can do, and it is accepted adult. Now, it took ages for them to fight, and they lived worse life than a criminal. I remember in 2005, there was a conference in Taj Palace, Taj Mumbai. And next to that, just opposite the Gateway of India, there is a laboratory. So Pishab घर में लोग जाके homosexual, they were getting some people over there, they said ke, getting their clients. Then the next day, the newspaper wanted a quote from me. So I said, what do you want from me? Do you want a sensational news, or do you feel there is a solution which need? So he said he was sensible, is a solution. I said, we all doctors and sexologists, whichever you think, religious people, legal people, educationalists, society people should sit down and try to accept them and try to create. Getting somebody as a client, in the public place is wrong, first of all. But at the same time, police cannot beat them. So we need to be very, very sensitive. The only word I would say, justice means sensitive. And today, even in the rape case, how many years it takes? And we have, so I think we need to, the justice judiciary should be sharpened up. Otherwise, whatever law you may make, you have seen people can enjoy in the uh, jail, whatever they want to have comforts and other things. And justice is equality. First is the equality, respect, no guilt, no shaming them, accepting them as if they are. And it's a fundamental right. And it gives a quality of life to not only two people, but the whole family and the society.
Okay, coming to see, the point is, see, there was a train which was coming every day late. So one fellow telling the other one, if you are not coming in time, why you put up the timetable? But then the other person says, unless we put up the timetable, we don't know train is coming late.
How late it is.
That is one. The second point is, there are so many aspects are there for sexuality, and each one needs very sensitive, very elaborate, very deep understanding. And say for the last year, there was something related to the consent, and earlier maybe the capacity, and this time about social justice and rights. So each one theme makes us work on that particular area in a bigger way and reach out. So the themes are what we basically call messages or other related things. So for example, politicians make use of this, Garibi Hatao. That means it is actually very catchy. This is what actually makes the individual work on. The third one, I tell you from a medical point of view. All of you must have heard of, there is something called as Rashomon effect. What it means is, say, a gynecologist will look at all the problem from gynecology point of view. A gastroenterologist, whichever problem you go there, you will work it on from GI point of view. A cardiologist from cardiac. But this is not who is that?
Can you mute them?
થોડું વેટ થઈ ગયા અમે એટલે અમે ઓલમોસ્ટ 6 વીક 4 વીક્સ વેટ
Madan, can you mute?
એટલે બધું સબસાઇડ થયું ને
Dr.
પછી
Smita is there.
એટલે ઇન્ફ્લેમેશન બહુ
this
શૂટ
one
અપ થઈ ગયું હતું લીવરના નંબર
Right.
પણ પછી આવી પણ ગયા ફટાફટ
शुभंकर,
એટલે બેઝિકલી ઇટ વોઝ
Yes, sir.
अरे किसका आवाज आ रहा है?
Dr. Smita.
नहीं,
Yeah,
म्यूट
she's
कर दो
not
बाकी
connect.
सब।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's not connected to audio, sir.
तो आवाज किसकी है? ओके,
Okay,
ठीक है।
sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I see the brighter side of this Rashomon effect. What it means is, as we sexologists are telling everybody that every person you meet on this earth, they are a sexual problem or sexual issue cases. Only question is yesterday, today, tomorrow. Throw one question. Do you have any sexual concerns to discuss? And this word sex should become as comfortable and easy as coffee, tea, and things like that. So that will be the one remarkable change what we can see would solve the problem. I think it is a very good discussion and a lot of learning for me also.
So for me also, to be
Yes,
honest
like-
with you, you give me
sir,
an opportunity, all of you, to go through and revise, because I think it's a very, very important aspect. And I have enjoyed every moment of last 3 or 4 days time the mother told me. And when I heard all of you, I said, I'm meeting my family. And Dr. Rao is there. Let me tell you one more thing. You can pass on this message to everybody. That's the only university, JSS Medical College, has started a diploma and a fellowship course. And every Tuesday there are various topics, and unfortunately they have kept it at 2 to 4, which is my sleeping time. Otherwise, I would say it's a most beautiful, so much of learning. Whenever I
Amen.
can, I attend it. And I'm very proud of you, Dr. Rao. Keep it up, you also.
In fact, I'm very proud to
Absolutely,
say
sir.
both
Absolutely,
Apurva
sir.
and Madan are there in that.
Yeah, they are,
Absolutely.
they are good. Amar Akbar Anthony, I call them, after you, me, and our friend. And one person, Parag Patil, I always remember. He was a bridge between all of us. I miss him every time when I talk about this. Wonderful person, a nicest human being I've ever met.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. I have that to meet sir and to talk with sir. It's really sir. So basically, today when we are talking about, we actually discuss not the core topic of the sexual health, but yes, the very important, that is the sexual rights, the reproductive rights, the adolescents and the LGBT, and definitely the last is the theme, that is the sexual justice. So before we wind up all these things, I just want to just very one-liner take-home message from all of you about the theme and about what you want to, tell up to the viewers. We will start from Brahmavat sir.
अगर सेक्स न होती तो न तुम होते न हम होते. So I would say, please take it as a religion. And lastly, John Bancroft, his book worth reading. When I was asked to introduce him, I said, John, in the early morning, we are supposed to read a religious scripture, and invariably I am having a sex book in my hand at 4 o'clock. And invariably it is yours, but this is my religion. So I would say you are doing a wonderful job. Take it as a passion and mission. And then you will see that after 20, 30 years like me, you will feel so happy and you will remain always young.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yes.
sir. T.S. Rao sir.
The message to everybody is first feel comfortable about sex means what actually Dr. Raghunath mentioned, not purely physical. It is our own personality, what we are, what are our relationships, how I deal with others, and it is all overall my personality. Reproduction is only one part of that particular aspect. So if we go by that particular concept, I think things would be automatically get normalized.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, Neeraj, sir.
हाँ, बस I will tell only one thing. कौन कहता है आसमान में सुराग नहीं हो सकता?
दोबारा दोबारा
कौन कहता है आसमान में सुराग नहीं हो सकता? बस एक पत्थर तो दिल से उछालो यारो. So
Yeah.
be the change that you want to see the change.
Very nice. Very nice.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, Madan, sir. I will also tell the last. Sir, Madan, sir.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh. I think everyone should understand the importance of sexual rights, and that is going to take us to the highest attainable sexual health, which is totally free of coercion, discrimination, stigma, and pleasurable. That's all.
But before right, but then don't you believe that duty should be there? There should be something like sexual duty. Then ultimately it will change into the sexual right. We never believe in the
That is the
duty. We only believe in our rights.
that is the other side of the coin.
So if we become responsible sexually, then ultimately everything will fall into that place.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So I think
तुम्हारा क्या last line
after
अपूर्वा से?
yes.
Apurva, huh?
I think, sir, the main thing we as a doctor has a big responsibility. It's when a patient is coming with us for any problem, for anything, just ask. I always used to say, when a patient is coming to us as a gynecologist, है ना, just ask उनको एक चीज बोलो, मिलने में कोई दिक्कत होता है क्या? So then they will open up with you that yes, this is the problem. So in our shoulder, we have a lot of responsibility, and to give the correct information is definitely is one of them. And I'm really blessed. Sir, Raj Bhatt sir is there, TSS Rao sir is there. When Neeraj sir was the chairperson, and we started a project that is a sexuality education, and we make modules. Our our funda was that we will teach and reach this module to each and every gynecologist across the India, and they will take those modules and they will give the teaching to the schools and medical in the colleges, schools, wherever they want. And finally, in the month of November, we are going to release it in the presidential conference at Pune. So thank you so much, everybody. It's the vision of Neeraj sir, and I am really lucky that I was part of that. And I am also feel really lucky, that as a chairperson of the Sexual Health and STI Committee, it is my privilege that I will release that. So thank you so much to everyone, and thank you so much, especially to Neeraj sir. So this is what, sir, about the sexuality education. So before we end, Madan sir, the words of thanks to you.
And before that,
Yes.
I would like to tell that
Yes.
what I have started, what Apurva is doing, continuing, and I'm sure that Madan will continue in his tenure as a chairperson of the Sexual Medicine Committee, Foxy also. So it will be a continuous process, not just one.
You are like a big
Absolutely, sir.
brother and
Absolutely.
a strong guide behind both of us, and we will continue
And
on
sir,
this path.
sir Madan sir, I am sure, and you will get mentor to hai Neeraj sir, but you will get as a vice president in charge as Neeraj sir as your vice
Yeah.
president in charge for that. So it's like a say. Raj Brahmavat sir always used to use say na. So अकेले निकला था मैं, लोग मिलते गए, साथ चलते गए और कारवा बनता चला गया. So it's like Neeraj
Yes,
sir is
yes.
an example of that. He started alone. He made all of us too, and now it's a movement. So thank you so much.
We are not going to leave Brahmbhatt sir and TSS Rao sir throughout the
Absolutely,
tenure.
अरे वो तो आधार स्तंभ है. Absolutely, they
Yes.
are our
Yes,
pillars.
yes.
So thank
See,
you. Yes, sir.
whenever Dr. Rao is there, I'm in a different mood. All my weakness is he knows he can bat, he can take care of me. So we are two batsmen at two ends. So once he's there, I don't have to worry. But that we will definitely make a centuries.
But the big
Yes.
world, he's my
Yes.
mentor, and I'm extremely grateful.
Yeah. Now it's time to extend my sincere thanks to AMOGS office bearers, Dr. Kiran sir, Bipin sir, Amesh sir, Bharti madam, and entire team of AMOGS. And today's chief guest, Dr. Nandita Palsetkar ma'am, Kiran sir and Amay sir, and also my dear most faculties, uh, due to which whom this today's program is super successful. It was a great interaction, great symposium, what I think. And it was really a wonderful discussion, I think, which have since many days or many months we didn't have such type of discussion. Delegates also, I'm sure they have enjoyed the this fantastic discussion about this World Sexual Health Day. And thank you, Apurva, uh, for everything. It was really a wonderful session. Thank you once again, Raj sir, TSS Rao sir, Neeraj sir, and all the delegates who have joined through this platform and live on YouTube also. Yeah, I will share the YouTube link in the groups also. Yeah. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And but sir, I hope in near future, Madan and Apurva have the same thing like all of us.
No, no, I already had. I already had. Madan sir is still no.
मुझे नहीं होगा सर, मुझे बहुत है.
Don't
मुझे
tell
नहीं
them that के जितना बाल होंगे उतना टेस्टोस्टेरोन बढ़ेगा, सेक्स में
वही
अच्छा
तो
रहेगा. They are very
Absolutely, sir.